Hello, everybody. Sorry, I am a couple of minutes late. I totally messed with my settings on my camera. I was like pitch black trying to figure out what I did wrong. I did something. So, hello, Barbara. Hello, Paula. Thank you for joining me. If you have not joined me before, I am Debra Harrison with Simply Sweet and Neat Designs. And I am delighted that you're joining me today because we're going to play with the Otterly Amazing bundle to make 4 really cute projects. And so if you, I think some of you have already gotten the kit. If you got the kit, hopefully you got my email. Oh, see, there it goes. What's going on? This is weird. So why did I all of a sudden get bright? I'm telling you, something's wrong with I did something. Oh my goodness. Let's try something different here. I don't know what is going on. Maybe it's the saturation. Nope. Let me reset to default. Oh, something is not pretty here. Auto white balance. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, this is weird. Huh. I did something. I don't know what I did, but it's messed up. I did something to my camera. Sorry. Hey, Kelly. All right, so I'm just going to kind of hang back here. I think my overhead camera's fine. It's just my one in my webcam that I've done something to the lighting and I can't figure it out. All right, so if you got the kit, hopefully you got my email yesterday with the guidelines to prep your supplies. I feel like I emailed that before, but I couldn't find anywhere else that I emailed it. So I sincerely apologize if you got that last minute. That was not my intention. I just don't know if time just passes so quickly. I didn't realize. So hopefully you got the email yesterday, got your supplies ready to go. If not, you can always come back, watch the replay. You have the tutorial in your on your cover sheet of your project packet. If you would like to prep your own supplies, I do have the PDF tutorial available for $10 for today's projects. You can just go over to my blog at simplysweetinkdesigns.com and there is a menu option there for my PDF store. Hello, Karen. Hello, Aria. I hope I'm saying that correctly. All right. So I just wanted to let you know I do have, if you want me to do the work for you, which I have 2 extra kits available. They are $47. So if you are here in the United States, I just send me a message and I will get you set up with an invoice. Now, if you already bought the PDF tutorial and paid that $10, then of course I would be happy to credit you that $10 for what you already paid towards the kit. I do have 2 of these available, so message me if you would like one. Okay, so today we are going to be using the Otterly Amazing bundle with these super cute little critters. The bundle does come with the dies and the stamp set where you save that 10%. I had to, though, I wanted to kind of make it where if you wanted to use this for Valentine's Day, you could, or you could even use it for every day. So I'm really loving the Hearts of Elegance die set. I feel like it just is a cute addition to add with the otters. So those are the products that I am using today in addition to the paper, the coordinating paper. All right, so let's go ahead and just to show you what the tutorial looks like if you don't have it and you are interested in purchasing it. It does have the instructions, the supplies, and pictures for today's projects. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this first card. This one is called the Cute Together card. And let me see if I can get this here in the corner for you. If you just want quick measurements for the projects we're doing today, that is right there for you to take a screenshot. So let's go on ahead. Now, all your cardstock pieces were cut for you, okay? All your like die cuts, all that was done ahead of time for you. You did need to cut your designer series paper and die cut or cut out your cute little critter. So we're gonna take a piece of thick basic white cardstock. This measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I scored it down the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So that's gonna just be our card base. Then I have a piece of pretty peacock cardstock. It measures 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to glue it right there on top. Then while I'm here, well, actually, I don't want to get too far ahead. Let's go ahead and do it step by step. How about that? So let's go ahead and glue our background piece on. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pretty peacock ink pad. We're going to stamp two things. One, we're going to stamp our background. I want to have some little bubbles going on off to the side. I'm going to grab those and just going ahead and let's stamp some just right there, just in like 3 different spots, just so we have some cute little accents going on. Now, while I have this out, there is a piece for your sentiment. It does measure 1/2 inch by 3¼ inches in white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment "We're cute together," also in pretty peacock ink. Okay, I'm going to close this up. We'll save it for the next project. Okay, so let's bring in our card base back here. And we're going to do 2 things. One, we're going to glue this piece, which measures 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Then we're going to glue on top of that a pebble print from the, what is that paper called? The Otterly Adorable Designer Series paper. This piece measures, let's see where we're at, 1 5/8 by 3 7/8. And we're going to glue those 2 on. And just make sure you have your bubbles going the correct direction. And then I just have a little bit of a border of the pretty peacock showing around my Designer Series paper. All right, so that is where we're at right now. Okay, so next what I want to do is let's take our Lost Lagoon cording. And this, if you got the kit, you've got a full spool of this included in your packet. And I'm just going to take a pretty good amount here. And I am going to just tie it off. Now, one of the things I like to do, there's 2 things. One, you can take it here to the corner, and I find that works pretty well because my corner will hold that for me. Or if you need a little extra helping hand, if you've got these reverse tweezers, you can also use that as well, and that will help kind of be your extra set of hands while you're trying to tie something. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of scooch this over a little bit back where I need it. Trim off this excess. And then oh no, my bow decided to take a different direction there. Oh, that would be why, because I didn't finish cutting it. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to scoochy this back just a little bit. And then I'm going to have it right there on my Designer Series, like just right where the Designer Series paper meets, just to cover that seam. Then what we're going to do is let's grab our sentiment and we're going to glue it here on the bottom. All right, so then what I did is I took 2 hearts from the Hearts of Elegance design die set. I die cut out 1 heart in Flirty Flamingo cardstock, and then this one is in Petal Pink cardstock. All right. So we're just going to pop these up with dimensionals. And I'm going to have it kind of cover a little bit of my ribbon here, my cording here, so that it just kind of helps hold that cording for me. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop up the Petal Pink heart, have it kind of going off at an angle. And then I die cut out from the Designer Series paper. There actually is, and I'm going to share with you real quick if you're not familiar. Let me pull this out. This is one of the things I love about the Designer Series paper. I don't think, is that it? No, that's not it. Here we go. Here it is. I say that's it, and we can't get it out. Is you have a couple of different options here where you can die cut out like this little guy here. This is actually the one I'm using today. You can die cut him out from the paper. We also have this guy laying on his back, which I'm not sure. We are going to use him in another project. You can also, too, you can die cut out this little baby otter as well. So kind of helps save you from having to fussy cut those pieces. But if you want, you can fussy cut them as well. So I'm going to have then my little, pop him up with dimensionals. And I think I'm going to use some mini dimensionals as well. And let's just have him hanging out right here on the heart. And then I'm just going to have my little guy, my little otter guy, swimming here in the background. And there we go. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to bling it up with the Riverside Irregular Pearls, and mine are just kind of strips right now. And let me see, what color do I want to use? I think I will use these. There's like 3 of them. There's like kind of a gray, a Lost Lagoon, and then kind of just a pearl color. So I'm just going to use the pearl color. And then I'm going to have this one over here next to the baby otter, like he's diving for that little pearl there, or that little bubble there. All right, guys, so that is project number 1. I'm going to give you all a minute. I'm going to clean up to get ready for project number 2. See who is on here with me. Hello, Diane, Lori, Jana, Maria. Thanks for joining me, guys. I don't know if I missed anybody. I think I caught everybody there. Who already has this cute little bundle? And have you already played with it before today? All right, so hopefully you got a screenshot of this. If not, it's going away. I'm going to replace it with the next card. So, all right, so this is going to be our next card. Right there. And this is going to be the next one we're making. So I'm going to put this one off to the side for you. Put this other one up. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to pull out the supplies to make our next card, which is the what's called the Otterly Amazing card. All right, for this one, let's see, put that right there. We're going to kind of flip-flop our colors. So we are going to use a piece of pretty peacock cardstock. This measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I have scored it down the middle at 4 1/4. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to add a white background right here. This piece measures 4 by 5 1/4. So Jana doesn't have it, but she may have to add it. Well, Jana, I totally know what you mean, because I wasn't going to get a certain bundle, which is for next month's craft along, and I end up getting it after seeing too many cute ideas. So I completely understand that. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of the water print. Now this water print measures 1.5 by 3 7/8. Then we're going to take a, nope, that's it. It is a water print on the back, but a different water print. We're going to take, what do you call it? The seaweed, and it measures 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So first put on your water print, and then we will put on the seaweed print. All right, again, I'm just going to leave a little bit of a border. And again, we're going to overlap the seaweed print over the water print just to kind of help stabilize it. Okay, now before we go on further, what we want to do is we're going to, I've already die cut this out, and hopefully in your prep guideline, you saw to die cut out 4 of the seaweed in the granny apple green that was included in your kit. So let's go on ahead, and I am going to, how did I do this? I don't really think it matters, honestly. I just want one going, the long ones, one going each way, and then the short ones going going opposite way too. So let's add a little bit of glue. And let's see, let's do this. Basically what I'm wanting to do is kind of cover my designer series paper seam just a little bit. I don't feel like that's the right thing. No, I think I did it this way. There we go. Okay. And then this one, yeah, that one goes that way, the one that's kind of curving. That way it curves into your designer series paper seam. Okay, so let's add this right here. Like I said, the whole goal is just to kind of cover that seam up. Then I'm going to take this one, have it go that way, and then that one, have it go that way. Okay, I think that will do it. It just kind of all converges right there in the center of the card. Because we're going to come back here in a minute and we're going to cover up where it intersects. We're going to be covering it up with our sentiment label. Okay, so now we can work on the sentiment label. This is from the Nested Essentials dies. And what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a hexagonal polygon. I hope I'm using my correct math terms here. And so we're going to stamp our sentiment. This one's going to say you're utterly amazing. And again, in Pretty Peacock. There are 2 different waters, Katie. I know there's one that's more like a balmy blue, and then there's one that's more like, I guess, coastal cabana or pool party. It's more like a pool party. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our sentiment towards the right because I want to leave room for my otter lounging around on the left. So let's go ahead and give him some room. It's not going entirely to the right, but it's heading in that direction. Okay, so kind of a little bit right of center there. Okay, so then we're going to pop this up with dimensional. See, that worked out perfectly. You get to see the seaweed, but it covers up where they all meet together. So let's pop these up with dimensionals. Give it a little lift. And we're going to put it right here in the center of our card. All right, let's see. Yeah, I did pop that. So I, again, use that Heart of Elegance bundle to die cut out a heart in Flirty Flamingo cardstock. And I'm going to pop it up also with dimensionals. And let's just have it at an angle here. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to have our otter just floating around right there. Now, part of the otter, his head is going to be glued flat onto the heart. And then the rest, I'm going to use dimensionals for the rest of his body. And I think I need a little dimensional for his tail to hold that steady. Oops, add a little bit of glue on his head here just to help stabilize him. All right. Okay, so then I'm just going to do our embellishments here. Now, I have already pre-tied my bows. So I'm just going to take that cording again, add a mini glue dot. And I'm just going to have it right here at the bottom here where those seaweed are, just to add a little bit of color there. Then I'm going to come back with my Riverside Pearls, and I think I want to change up the color. I may do the gray. Maybe I'll do the gray. They all look so good. I don't really think it matters. There, there, and let's put another one. Oops, I did not even pick gray. Oh my gosh, that was a pearl. Let me flip-flop that. Let me grab the right one. There we go. Okay, and let's put one out there in the water. Okay, that is project number 2. Just bling it up a little bit. Okay. All right, I was just reading your comments. Okay, so I am going to give you a minute to catch up, and then we will go on to project number 3. Project number 3 is a fun fold card. I always like to try to do a fun fold. It's not a hard one, it's a pretty easy one. And I need to get organized myself. So I'm gonna give y'all just a few minutes while I kind of clean up my area, because things are starting to get a mess and getting hard for me to find stuff. Okay, I'm going to move this. Let's go ahead and we're going to put on the third quick reference. So this one's called Lots of Love, and it's a pop-up card. There is a different name for it, but for the life of me, at this moment, I cannot think of what we call it. It has, what is it called? It has a name. So this is the one we're going to make next. And then we got a little cute little scene going on in the background too. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to switch that up. All right, so hopefully you can still, if you're still working on those, that's okay. I will be emailing you the video link after today's video. So if you need more time and you're on my email list, don't worry about it. This afternoon, I will have that link for you. You can come back, watch the replay, either on my YouTube channel. That way you can take your time and craft at your leisure. All right? Okay, so let's make this one. This one has a couple of pieces to it. They're both in thick, basic white cardstock. Oh, almost lost that little fishy guy. Okay, so this piece is what I call the card base, and it measures 4 1/4 by 11. Then this is what I call the pop-up, and it measures 2 1/2 by 5 1/2. Then I'll share with you in a moment the score lines. Okay, so for this one, our card base, this is the 4 1/2 by 11. It is scored at 5 1/2, 6 3/4, 8 3/4, and then again at 10. Okay, so I'm gonna burnish my score lines here. Okay, so real quick again, we have 5 1/2, because you can probably see the score lines a little bit better now. 5 1/2, 6 3/4, 8 3/4, and 10 inches. So what we're gonna do is basically, I wanna show you before we actually do anything, is if you see, if you roll it, it will form a rectangle. But before we adhere the back of this rectangle little column, we want to put a piece of designer series paper on first. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the water print. Now I am using more of the balmy blue water print for this one, and it measures 4 by 4. Then what I want to do is I want to stamp some little fish off in the background. Now to do that, I'm going to need some scratch paper here. I'm going to take the fish, the school of fish. I'm going to take my pretty peacock ink. Now what I want to do is I want to do what we call stamping off, because I feel like if I put it on directly, it would be very, very dark. So I'm going to just stamp off on some scrap paper. Then I'm going to come back and stamp on my actual image. That way it kind of looks like they're off in the background and not really that up close. I hope that makes sense. So that's another way too, if you want to get more colors out of an ink pad, is you can do what's called stamping off, and you get a little bit lighter shade of your color. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere this on the inside. And we're going to put it on the large 5.5-inch section. So we have our little rectangular column down here. We're going to put this on the upper part. Okay. Now then what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to add either tear and tape or multi-purpose liquid glue. And you're just going to adhere it right here. Now, if you would like, you can fold over that little flap and then just lay it flat like that, okay? That way, when it pops up, you've got a nice, perfect rectangular box. And I'm gonna fold it forward because when I go to ship it, that's what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna need to fold it forward and then it can go in an envelope. All right, next what we're gonna do, let's go to our pop-up piece. And let me go ahead and score this before we get started so you can see the lines a little better. It's always hard when you're working with white because those score lines don't show up that well. Again, this is 2.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 1/2 inch, and then again at 1 3/4 inch. So what we're going to do for this, and this is the one that I tend to make a mistake on this part, but I'm going to share with you how this is going to work. So what you do, let me see, is you're going to push this forward. And let's see, nope, I need this. Okay, let me just, I got to double check myself before I make a mistake here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to fold it over at that 1 3/4 inch line, score line. Then you're going to take and you're going to line the top of that fold at the top of your designer series paper. I'm just going to double check myself just to be sure so I don't mess this up. Like I said, this is the part. Yes, that is what you do. Okay, right there in the instructions, this is what I'm explaining. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take, and you don't want to glue this part down. What you want to do is add glue to the 1/2 inch part, tear and tape or multi-purpose liquid glue. Let's start with that first. Let's fold this back over because really you only want glue here on the 1/2 inch part, but you need to line it up. So you're going to take that fold line, put it back to where at the top of the designer series paper. And then when you let go, your pop-up is exactly where you want it, okay? So now I know exactly where to glue this onto my rectangular tube here. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue here, fold that flat, okay? So that's how we end up with this pop-up card like this. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to stop for a second, just make sure that everybody understands how to do that. The reason you don't want to glue this, but you want to line it up at the top is so when you do go to fold it, it doesn't go past the top of your card so that you can put it in an envelope to mail. All right, so now we've got this seam right here, and I don't want the seam showing. So I want to take a piece of designer series paper. And this piece measures, let's see, it is 1 3/4 by 4, and I'm going to glue it right here on the front of my pop-up just to cover that seam nicely. I'll put that back over here so we can see it better, see the finished product. Okay, so this is the fish scene from the designer series paper. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to finish decorating it up here on the front, and then there'll be a few things we're going to do on the back. So we're going to take the heart, again from the Hearts of Elegance dies. This one I manually cut out a seam. Now if you notice, it's a different seam, totally fine. You can pick any seam that you like from your paper. And then we're going to take and we're going to add a tag or a sentiment tag. And then we're going to have 2 of the seaweed. So the seaweed die cut in Granny Apple Green. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the seaweed while I'm here before I do anything else. I'm just going to have it just a little bit poking out on each side. So let's just add a little bit of glue. I'm going to take a little bit of a look here to see exactly what I did. So if you see, it's just kind of just slightly poking out. So I'm going to have it kind of tuck in a little bit inside, just a little bit inside there. And then I'm going to put the other one on the other side. And let's just have that one going a little bit inside there. That way it just kind of flows with the rest of the designer series paper, like there's seaweed coming out. Okay, now what we're gonna do is take your heart. Let's pop it up with dimensionals. And we're just going to put it right here. Almost to the top there. It can go up to the top like that. Then we're going to pop this up with dimensionals as well, whatever otter scene you're choosing to use. Got that. I think there's so many options here on these scenes that you could use. Then we're going to take our sentiment, and our sentiment says love you lots. So I'm going to stamp again in Pretty Peacock ink. Just stamp right here on my sentiment. And I think that's all the stamping we have today. So I'm going to put that back, and then we're going to glue that flat onto our underwater scene. And then down to doing the bling again. So let's add another bow. Let's see, here's my mini glue dots. Again, using a mini glue dot. And I'm going to have it right here in the corner next to my sentiment. Let's put that there. And then add some of these pearls again. I think I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon this time. Ooh, is this going to be too much? I think I'll just leave it like that. Okay. All right. So that's what the front looks like. So we're going to do a little bit on the back. So on the back, we're going to take a piece of the pebble print from the designer series paper. It measures 1 by 4 1/4. That's because our full length of our card is 4 1/4. Then we have little fish that were die cut out. I'm only going to use 3 of those fish. So let's flip it over and let's just glue this towards the bottom. Okay, and then just to kind of finish this up, let's glue our fish on like we got a school of fish on the back side. And my fish, I die cut them out in Flirty Flamingo cardstock, if you were wondering what color I used there. All right, so that is card number 3. All right. Okay, the last one's like really easy, especially if you have the kit, because a lot of it was die cut for you. All right, so if you need the back, that's what the back looks like. That's what the front. Again, your scene could be totally different, whatever you want to use. I am going to make some room here, so I'm going to remove the 2 cards that we did earlier. So far we've done these 3 cards. And I move this off to the side so you can finish up on that. Okay, move that. All right, last project, but really an easy one because I do a little bit of cheating and I get my box from Amazon. So there is a box that I like to buy from Amazon. I think it's $4.50 4¼ I can't remember exactly the measurements, but you can buy them on Amazon. They're a cookie box. They're really great, easy, especially if you need to make a bunch of these quickly. And so basically you're going to assemble your box. It already has an acetate window inside, so you can see inside. And so I'm just going to only just do one side here, and then I'm going to leave the other side open because I'm going to put something inside real quick. So really easy, pretty simple to figure out how to put that together. But I want to start off first with a piece of the water print. So I'm going to take my designer series paper, and it measures 4 by 4, and I'm going to glue it on the inside right there so that we have a water seam. Unless you're really, really good at using it with tape, I'm going to recommend multi-purpose liquid glue so that you get a little bit of wiggle room to get it in position. All right, so let's see if we can sneak this guy in here. I'm probably going to need some help with my glasses to get this correct. And honestly, nobody's going to see it if it's not 100% perfect because it's inside. All right, and there we go. Just kind of gently press down. Now, if you would like an idea of what to put in the box, of course, if you put anything in the box, whatever you put probably won't show. Now, I just thought of this, totally thought of this like on the spur of the moment here as I'm talking. The thing I'm going to put in is cheddar or the goldfish crackers, right? I think that would be really cute. So that'd be really cute, right? However, what just came to my mind is what if you took some of those Swedish fish, kind of had maybe just a little stack of them on the inside so that it only went like part way, and then you could see some of the ocean in the background and then like fish swimming underneath. I think that would be super cute. All right, that's just an idea that popped in my head. So if somebody does that, you need to show me a picture of it because I want to see what that would look like. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our other elements. On the designer series paper, you have 4 pieces that measure 1 inch by 4 1/8 of an inch. And that, again, I'm using the little fish seam. I'm going to go ahead and close my box up. We're going to pretend we've got some yummies inside. Okay, and then we're just going to glue this around the perimeter of the box. Bring this over. Oh, let me flip-flop that. There we go. So this is what we're doing. We're just putting it around the perimeter of the box. Is everybody doing all right on your projects? Do you have a favorite so far? All right, one more. Let's see, do I have all my seaweed? I think I have it going all the correct way. Okay. There we go. So we got all our designer series paper going around. And then you'll just have to determine what you want to be the front or the back of your box. You've got your openings here with the little finger holes. And so I'm going to just grab the rest of the pieces. Now, again, I used some more of the Hearts of Elegance die cuts. This is in Flirty Flamingo cardstock. I don't know if you can see those really cute scroll work in the heart. That's really, really cute when you see it in person. Then I did a smaller heart die cut in Petal Pink. Then die cut out a log from the Otterly Amazing bundle. And then this also too is, let's see, this one I think was manually cut because I did not have this guy. This one right here, you can actually die cut from the paper, but I didn't have any more of that scene. So I'm going to use this scene instead that I manually cut. So all we're going to do now is we're going to pop these up with dimensionals. Add some dimensionals for your hearts. Have it angle a little bit here. do the pink heart or the petal pink going the opposite direction again with a dimensional. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add dimensionals on the back of my log. And I'm going to put my log just down here towards the bottom. And then I'm going to have my little guys just resting on top of the log right there, again with some dimensionals. Oh, that's cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, I think that's it for dimensionals. So now again, we're going to come back. We're going to bling this up again. I have one more bow in my package here. All right, so what I'm going to do for this one, I know it was here. Here it is right here. I'm going to also use a mini glue dot. I'm going ahead, put it on the back of my bow. Then what I want to do is I'm just going to just kind of just add it like right there in the corner. Now I will tell you, on this one, I tucked it behind the little seaweed there. But on this one, since I don't have the seaweed, I'm just going to put it right there on top next to my little guys, my little otter guys. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to bling it up with our Riverside pearls. And I'm using the Lost Lagoon ones for this one. And we'll just put one right there. Okay, guys. So a little bit different scenes, but like I said, they can both work. All right. All right, so I'm going to share with you the 4 projects that we made today, and then I will share with you next month's craft along. I'm super excited about it too. I'm really, really excited about it. Okay, let's see. Is that the one? I think it was this one right here, I think. Yes. Okay, so these are the 4 projects that we made this month for our craft along with the Otterly Amazing bundle. Tell me if you had a favorite. I won't be offended. I know I have my favorite. I probably like that one. I like that one the best. But this is also too great if you need a quick treat. If you're doing like a kid's birthday party, you could put some fun little items inside. Super quick and easy to do by just ordering those boxes on Amazon. Okay, or you can make your own box as well. Okay, so I'm going to share with you next month's make and takes. Now, if you need more time to do this month's projects, don't worry, I will be emailing the video link for you to be able to come back, watch the replay on my YouTube channel. Okay, that way craft at your leisure. If you would like the pre-cut kit, I do have 2 extra left. I always like to make sure I have a couple extra left on my kits because, you know, mail's not always 100% reliable. Sometimes things happen, so I always like to make sure. But it looks like everything's fine, so I do have those 2 extra kits. They are $47 each that ship to you, and it includes about $20-something in the products, okay? Consumable products. Okay, y'all ready for next month? Y'all want to see next month's? I do. Katie, I'm going to share with you right now next month's craft along. Okay, I think it was, got to go back up here. It was Jana. Jana was talking about she didn't have the Otterly Amazing bundle, but she might have to get it because I don't know if y'all are maybe like me and you're like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. And then you see a bunch of cute projects with it. And then you're like, I have to have it. So that was what this was for me. All right, so let me share with you the bundle first. And it is the Darling Dinos bundle. Okay, who's excited to play with this one? Okay, this one was one I saw it in the catalog, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy it. I mean, I already have a dino set. I don't need another dino set. And I saw some really cute projects with it. And so I was like, okay, I'm putting it in my cart, and I ended up getting it. Okay, and I'm so glad I did because I am so excited about next month's projects. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a background story. I do have a helper. Her name is Pat. So when you see die cuts, especially if you're in my club, chances are those die cuts were done by Pat. And Pat has a granddaughter who loves dinosaurs. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get the dinosaurs. So I am going to do a boy set, okay, for our boy dino lovers. So we're going to do a card and a gift bag, just a simple little gift bag. That's going to be one set. But for in recognition of Pat's granddaughter, I had to do a girl version. So we're going to do a box, a little gift box. That's for our girl dinosaur lovers. Okay. So these are these are going to be the craft along projects for February. The date I have planned right now is Tuesday, February 25th. Okay. So if you want to mark that on your calendar, be on the lookout for this registration link. Actually, it's going to be in today's email. So when you get today's email, scroll down to the bottom and you will see the link to go on ahead and register for next month's kit. Again, it's $47 shipped to you. And so anyway, I hope that you're looking forward to doing this craft along because I loved how these dinosaurs turned out. Now, as you see, I did use some Stampin' Blends. So you'll see that in the listing. And so if you need to add them on to your registration, you can certainly do that. Or I know you were demos. If you need to order it on your next demo order, just go on ahead and you'll know which supplies you're going to need for next month. And of course, you'll want to have that Darling Dinos bundle. All right, guys, I'm just going to check and see if there's any questions, anything that I missed. Okay. You like the pop-up one, Barbara? Okay, me too. Paula liked the third one. That's the third. Okay, that would be the pop-up. All right, guys. Yay, Jana. Jana, do you already have the Darling Dinos? Who has the Darling Dinos bundle already? Who's going to get it now? Like me, because you saw some cute projects with it. Yeah, those dinos are so cute, aren't they, Ann Margaret? All right, guys. So y'all take care. Thank you so much for joining me. I love it when we can craft together and just enjoy making some fun projects. All right, guys. Tomorrow is my regular weekly live at 3 o'clock Central Time. So do the math if you're in a different time zone. And we're going to be making a card with the Country Flowers bundle. That is the focus bundle for my February Sweet Creations Club. All right, guys. I am so delighted that you joined me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.